Welcome to episode 45 of How to Play Like a WAP Pro. Today we're going to be going over Anykeyyevka, if that's how you say it, which is the same map that we covered in the last video, but this time I'm going to show you a replay in a light tank, specifically the EBR, which, you know, can't completely be compared to other light tanks because its speed is just so much faster that it can get away with so many more different things. But I'm gonna show you I'm gonna show you how good this map can be for light tanks in general. It's definitely a map with potential. I wouldn't say it's as good as Malinovka or Prokhorovka or anything, but light tanks can definitely do some things on this map, and they're not completely useless or anything. They have certain, I guess, they're useful. So, like a lot of the maps, there's a medium flank, there's a heavy flank, and then there's kind of the middle where the lights play, and then there's the base where all the TDs camp. And this is the general layout of almost every single one of the Recon maps, except for like 2 of them. So what do you want to do in a light tank on this map? Well, I would recommend taking one of these middle bushes. I wouldn't recommend playing in this area. At least I don't think there's any good spots in that area. You could play this bush, but then you only really light anything to the right of this, which isn't ideal because what you really want to be lighting is this area and this area, because this is where the enemy medium tanks cross to get to the medium flank. And so I like playing one of these bushes, like this bush or this bush. I wouldn't recommend playing like this bush because you're kind of a little bit more in the open. Right here there's a ridge you can use, which is really nice. Now, I get yellowed by an EBR. I'm kind of worried that they're just going to yellow over and try to kill me right away. But I should have enough support back here from these medium tanks that they can't kill me. So instead I'm trying to take out these light tanks, because if I can kill both their light tanks, then I'm in a really good position to work, because nobody will be lighting me until I fire if I kill their light tanks. Unfortunately, I'm terrible, so I missed the easiest shot in the world on their T100. Now my goal is to kind of get unlit and then spot this cross for my medium tanks, because as you can see, they're all staying back. None of them are pushing up yet, so they should have some shots on these guys that I'm lighting if they overexpose. Now, there's no harm in me staying in the open here rather than in the bush, because these guys are not going to spot me on the cross. I'm just too far away. The only way I get spotted right now is from their light tanks. So I'm not bothering to go in the bush. It's too risky for me to go in the bush. If I go in the bush, I could get spotted. If their T100 is like down here, you could see me through there. Or if the EBR is passive over here or something, you could spot me through there. There's just no real point for me to go in the bush, so I'm not doing it yet. But now that the stirb is up there, I kind of have to be careful, because if the stirb just turns while I'm lit, he can just shoot me down here. And sure, he might take a little bit of damage from like the 183, or a lot of damage. I just don't want to take damage right now. So I try to get safe. I go underneath the ridge. What you need to be careful of is a lot of the time tanks will camp right at this rock here, and so as you go underneath the bridge, they actually have a small shot on you. So I'm trying to cross the bridge as fast as I can, and I do, and I get some spotting on the 121B, which is nice. Now I really want to focus out their light tanks first if possible, because they're the biggest threat to me. Now here, the CVS I have, I think it was a CVS, enables me to spot this Batchat. It might have been because he fired, I'm not actually sure. But either way, I spot him and I get a free shot in. I'm still constantly aware of the fact that I could get yellowed by their light tanks right now, so I want to be careful. I aimed that pretty well, but it's a pretty hard shot, so somehow get spotting on this guy. I must have spotted him through here or something, I don't know, but I didn't expect to get spotting off of that guy. But as you can see, the 183 took him down, and that's a decent outcome for me, because it means that I can play in this area now without this guy just shooting down on my face. There, the EBR is ready for me, which sucks. I didn't realize that I was still lit, but I was. Now that I've taken more damage, I'm really expecting their T100 to YOLO me, so I want to get unlit and then do a run on the mid-ridge to see if the T100 is kind of coming for me. But in the meantime, as I make my move, I spot that their medium tanks are still there. So I go for a free shot on them. As you can see, the 183 smacks his grill. And so yeah, these sniper positions, especially this one right here, has great shots on this cross. And so that's why light tanks are useful on this map, basically. Take out the grill. Now their T100 hasn't been lit in quite a long time, so I'm kind of wondering where he is. But I did a little run around here, this area here, so I don't think that he's anywhere down here, because I didn't spot him. But I'm still wary of what could possibly be happening. And as you can see, there's their T100 and their EBR is coming in, and I'm ready for their EBR because I'm a one-shot. I have to kill him if he YOLOs me. And I want to get the jump on him if possible before he can get to me. But this was probably a stupid play. I could have easily died here. I am an EBR, so I can kind of get away with stupid shit, but I was just really wanting to kill the EBR because he was the biggest threat to me. He was the one who's most likely to hit me. But it turns out I don't even think he lights me, which is kind of weird. Or maybe I just got delit, I'm not sure, but since I managed to get all the way out here, I'm not gonna bother trying to challenge this EBR anymore when there's like 4 snipers behind him. Because I realize now that that's just a stupid idea. Instead, I'm going for side shots on the people who push down like this. And this is basically exactly the same as the last map that I featured. As they push through your flank, the middle has shots on them pushing. They have shots on them as they push to the location, the medium flank, and as they push through the medium flank. And so the middle is basically the ideal place to be right now, in my opinion, when it comes to defending as they push through the medium flank. Unfortunately, right there, I somehow get spotted. I'm not exactly sure who from, but I survived, so it's all good. But as you can see, we already have like almost 8k combined. And this game is ending, I realize that. So I want to get into the fight as quickly as possible so that I can get some spotting and then some damage. And this is kind of this is one of the themes that I've kind of talked about throughout my videos. But as the game starts to come to a close, whether you're winning or losing, if there's only a couple tanks left, it's almost always appropriate to play more aggressively. And the reason why is if I were to die right now, I would only be missing out on max 5k combined. If I play aggressively at the start of the game, I could be missing out on like 25k combined. Obviously, I'm not going to get all of that, or even close to all of that, but basically the point is, I would be missing out so much more if I die at the start of the game because I play too aggressive than if I die at the end of the game because I play too aggressive. So it just makes sense to be more aggressive at the end of the game rather than at the start of the game. Now here I realize that I'm not the one spotting these guys, so I want to quickly dash across here so that I can respot them in case anybody has shots on them from range. But I actually get shot by the T100 and I could have easily died there. But I managed to get safe from him. And now if I have to, I'll suicide for 1 shot of damage on this guy, but it's not necessary because the 183 takes him down. So yeah, that's basically all I had to show for this map in the EBR. So let me see if I can quick show you the post-game stats. So let me see. Yeah, this is right. Got 2,900 damage, 3 kills, and 7k spotting. Now I wouldn't say that you should expect this result out of every game for sure. It's very possible that you just get YOLO'd by light tanks in the beginning and die. Even if they die for it, they still might kill you. It's possible you just make a mistake and die, or it's possible that you don't have a 183 on your team who's willing to hit the grill for like 2,000 damage when he crosses. But either way, there's still opportunities to be done in this map in light tanks, especially in EBR. So yeah, hopefully that taught you a thing or two about the new map. Let me know what you think about the new maps in the comments section. That's all for today. Expect more Recon maps, probably tomorrow. See you guys later. Goodbye.